Hey everybody, welcome to Options with Hans. So let's go. Let's talk about Nvidia today. Nvidia is famous for the GPU. It started with video games, right? This thing essentially became a kind of a neural network framework that's basically good for artificial intelligence. They kind of stumbled into it, right? The GPUs is the capability of being able to do many things at once. That's how you turn this into a brain because it can do many things in parallel. And over the last few years, it's really been all about GPUs. The training phase is 80 to 90% of training up to about a year ago. We were teaching these things, creating better and better models, large language models, and it was only about 10% inference, right? We were very much in the building stage. And about a year ago, I said, no, this is now flipping on its head. In a bunch of live shows, I said, listen, flip that 80-20 on its head. Now we are 80% inference and we are 20% training. 80% inference is where things start to pervade throughout the economy, throughout our lives, throughout industry, throughout the world. So inference is very big. At Computex in Taiwan this week, NVIDIA made one thing very clear. They're moving toward an ecosystem that extends beyond the GPU. This is not new. In essence, we've heard some talk about this from Jensen lately, but it matters more than people realize. So here's the whole thing in plain terms. Think of an AI system like a kitchen in a busy restaurant. The GPU is the chef, super fast, strong, capable, trained, probably some gifted skills. He can cook 100, or she can cook 100 plates at once. That's what Nvidia is famous for, doing many things at once, right? That's what made video games the kind of perfect sort of sandbox for the GPU. But here's the thing that nobody talks about. A chef can't do anything until someone tells them what to cook, right? Get the order, hands them the right ingredients, clears the finished plates out of the way. That job belongs to the CPU. The CPU is like the manager running the kitchen, taking the orders, fetching stuff, deciding what happens next, keeping everything moving. Now, why does this suddenly matter more? Because of agentic AI. That's the new kind of AI that doesn't just answer a question and stop. It's not just a chatbot. It's not just a Google search. This actually gets to the point where it does stuff on its own. It writes code. It searches databases. It builds software. It looks things up online. It runs a whole bunch of steps in a row to finish a task, tons of little jobs, one after the other. So think of the GPU as being very good at neural network type stuff, recreating the brain, doing many things at once, assimilating all that information together. And that's what made it good for video games, which have to do so much. The CPU, however, is better and faster at doing things sequentially, one after the other. So all that order taking, all those steps in managing the restaurant, that is CPU work. That's not really the chef's work. So picture this. You've got the best chef on earth, the GPU. What if you have a slow, confused manager? The CPU, orders pile up, the ingredients show up late. The chef just stands there with nothing to cook. You paid millions of dollars for this chef, for the real estate, for the restaurant on Fifth Avenue. Now they're standing around doing nothing. That is wasted money, wasted opportunity. And that is the big problem. So this thing, we're going to talk about this thing being Vera. NVIDIA built Vera. This is their own CPU made specifically for this. It's a manager that's really fast enough to keep the chef busy. This thing is as capable as the chef. It's got 88 custom cores. So think of that as 88 workers in the manager's office. Huge memory bandwidth in this thing. And we know, we've heard about memory endlessly lately, how important it is. We know most of NVIDIA's chips are more efficient than everybody else's. What about this one? This one is 1.8 times faster than the x86 that Intel and AMD make. Is this a familiar refrain? Yeah, NVIDIA, their equipment is more expensive, but it's better. And if you think of it from a metric like tokens, token output, they're more efficient per dollar spent. So Vera gets these AI tasks done almost twice as fast as the x86, which is that old sort of framework that we know of with our desktop computers. Same chef, but now the manager is twice as quick, getting more plates out the door, running that restaurant in a very efficient way. So NVIDIA is saying we're selling you the whole nervous system of AI. Vera Rubin is not just another chip, okay? Think of this as a village. It's NVIDIA's full AI factory blueprint. The CPU, the GPU, the networking, storage, racks, system rack, right? You think of those big, these are not small rigs. This is big chunks of equipment, one on top of the other. That's the rack. systems, the whole thing designed to work together seamlessly. And they don't want to sell you just a slice of the AI factory. We are not about just training. We want to sell you the entire factory. So you know how Google, think of it this way. Google, as I've been raving about for so long, it's stacked vertically across so many different parts of that AI value chain. Think of Nvidia that way as well. And that really makes the customers very sticky. Now there's something even more important. There is the desktop. They launched RTX Spark with Microsoft. This is a full petaflop of AI compute. A petaflop means roughly 1 quadrillion calculations per second. So when Nvidia says a desktop AI PC can deliver a petaflop, they're saying this is not your old family Dell running Minesweeper, right? This is serious AI horsepower sitting on top of your desk. Personal agents running locally. These personal agents, AI that lives on your machine, not just in some giant cloud somewhere. This is the new mainstream PC category. That's why this upgrade cycle could be much bigger than people realize. So look around. You see these other stocks, ARM's exploded, Dell's exploded. These are not sleepy old tech hardware stories anymore. The market's figuring out that AI is not just software, of course. AI is physical. It needs chips. It needs CPUs. It plugs in. It needs power. It needs servers. It needs networking. It needs storage. It needs power, real stuff you can drop on your toes, I'd like to say. And this is where NVIDIA's moat becomes very important. CUDA. People forget this because it's not as sexy as the new chip. It's incredible how few people actually talk about CUDA. It is the software layer that developers have been building on for years and years. And therefore, it's very familiar to them. It's very sticky. It's baked into all the AI workflow. Now, there are some sort of programs that can kind of borrow and make it work on other things. It's just not as nearly as good. So you can't just rip that out and start all over again very easily. You build on top of it, and that just makes this very sticky over time. That's why NVIDIA is very different from a lot of AI winners. Take memory, for example. The stock's had an incredible move. It's $1,000 now, 1,060. And I'm not saying that story is over. The demand is still very strong. The memory, though, is a pricing power story, right? And price can giveth, price can taketh away. NVIDIA is a different animal. Think of this. They're not just renting you a commodity. They're building the standard, the ecosystem, the platform, the factory, the software layer underneath it. So when I weigh frothy and exuberant against foundational, I know where I want to focus at this point. So I want the blue chip here. I'm shifting money out of some of these other things. We took some wins. I took a Dell win today in LEAPS, 427%. And I think a Snow one was 190%, as well as another 93%. Anyway, whole bunch of very nice trades started to shift a little bit more into NVIDIA. So now, we know this doesn't mean stocks go up every day. We've had the most unprecedented run in markets and in the NASDAQ in particular that we maybe have ever seen. It's been absolutely relentless. So I don't love to add exposure here, but there is a sort of I think NVIDIA's lagged a little bit. And the CPU sort of story has really benefited everybody else. And so I think the CPU angle can actually renew this name in a world where the CPU rally is already well underway. It's hard to catch at this point. Now, can it drift back down to 190 or 200? Of course, that's NVIDIA. It's like Amazon. It frustrates you sometimes. So I am shifting a little bit in there. Today, I added the November 165 calls. That's November of 2026, 165 calls. Not quite a leap, but I'm going to turn this. I want that gamma. I want that super high reactivity to a move up that you don't get quite as much with the leaps. And I'm playing this for a sort of follow through move on top of the earnings move that we had. And so I want to get that gamma. That means I want this to be reactive. So as it moves up a little bit, maybe 10, $15, I'm going to layer out that and turn this thing into a call spread. So on a rally, I'm going to spread it out to balance the vega risk, the theta exposure, all those things we talk about in the Greek salad. So nice, short and sweet. They give you time. They give you time to be right, time to be a little bit wrong before you're ultimately right. We had that work out on a few things, positions that were down a decent amount all the way back to very profitable. This is what happens when you position in strong themes And really, you've got to have some resolve in this kind of market. It is a ruthless market. Dell was at 130. They couldn't sell enough of it, and now it's almost $500. There is a re-rating going on out there, and I believe this is going to continue for years and years. So I think there's going to be incredible opportunities to capture. I said, listen, this is a re-rating type market. I bought March leaps in Dell that were $60 in the money by a few days later. That's not normal. That's not a normal kind of behavior. The upside is not pricing in the full possibility, the full capability of some of these stocks as they get re-rated higher. So our job in the programs, and my job in particular, is to look for those opportunities, and it's been fantastic, and we'd love to have you there. And grab that LEAPS guide, and you'll be into my ecosystem. Take care, everybody.